Hey, this is DBR here with MBJ, Marc Bamuthi
Sir,
Joseph.
brother.
Brother, love to you, man.
You as well.
I wanted to start with you as we start into the new. And we were having a casual conversation about beauty, housing, law, and wealth. Not in any particular order. Beauty, housing, law, and wealth. What did you mean by that?
There's this phrase, systemic racism. And like many items in our vernacular, in our common vernacular, the more that you use a word, the less power it has. So you have to imbue language with power, with knowledge, with energy. Think about like when you tell someone you love them, that love is real, but maybe the word is overused in a way and you forget what it means truly. So think about that in terms of systemic racism. Systemic racism isn't hate. Racism is the system by which American capitalism works. It is the infrastructure. Racism are the pipes through which American capitalism flows.
Wow.
So when we as cultural organizations or just organizations period as a country, when we talk about, well, what are we going to do to eliminate systemic racism, those four things, wealth, beauty, law, and housing, I would suggest to my home institution and to any other institution, if you want to work on anti-racist systems, you have to build systems that work in service of reversing the tide, the current tide in those four key areas. So by wealth, I mean financial capital. And maybe that speaks to itself. That there is an undercapitalization of Black voices, of Black businesses,
Yes.
of Black artists, and Black companies. So as an organization, what are you doing to expand the purchase? What are you doing to expand Black wealth? In terms of law, I don't just mean law enforcement. I mean legislature. I mean legislators. I mean judges. I mean the prison industrial complex. I mean enfranchisement. Are you expanding the capacity for the Black community or historically marginalized communities to get involved in terms of self-determining the legal system? I heard Keith Ellison say the other day, all the charges, there have been charges brought on all four officers in the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. And he was like, look, man, it is unlikely that anybody on the jury is right now out in the street protesting. So while those officers are entitled in this country to a fair jury trial,
Right.
What kind of jury trial do Black defendants get?
Yeah, that's right.
So organizations, corporations, we have to be asking ourselves, what are we doing to expand equal access to the law under the 14th Amendment? The third thing is housing.
Yeah.
From 40 acres and a mule to
Wow. Yeah.
redlining.
Yeah.
Think about the impact on not just wealth, but security and sustainability that systemic housing violence
Yeah.
has meant to the Black community, even to the extent that your property taxes then go to support your public schools. And without housing stock that is of a particular value, that dramatically affects public education in segregated spaces in educational America. And then the fourth thing is beauty, which is not just like it's who's on the cover of Vogue, you know what I mean? But it's also what are we doing to perpetuate and propagate images of Black folks that center Black joy, that that consider the health of our relationship to Black humanity. So, what are you seeing on film? Yeah. What stories are you reading? So, if you're an organization that's like We Stand with the Black community, that is powerful symbolism. If you're an organization that seeks to, or you're an individual that seeks to think about what anti-racist systems can I now cultivate and begin to develop, those are the 4 areas that I would focus on: wealth, beauty, housing, law.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. And, you know, I see so much, the word that keeps resonating for me right now is truth.
Yeah.
Is there truth in our judicial system?
Mm-hmm.
Is there truth in the law?
Mm-hmm.
Is there truth in how we fiscally think about our structures and our relationships to corporate America and our communities?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is there truth in beauty?
Yeah, right.
From Vogue to the Oscars,
Mm-hmm,
you know,
mm-hmm.
right? In our cultural practices, and this is key, I think, to our education systems and our educational systems. Is there truth in beauty? And you know, is there what was the last one?
Housing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And how can the spaces that we occupy and own be generous right now?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So truth, rehabilitation, and truth, reconciliation towards rehabilitation.
Word up.
Marc, thank you so much for your time today, brother.
Of course, bro.
All right. Be well.
All right, man. Peace.